Soupman is not the first person that you've gotten into a prolific battle with, right? And you and
I don't give a fuck. That's the thing.
100%.
So it's like people come into my world and like, oh, he's gonna care, and it's like I don't. I have my own world.
and this was the year you truly showed it. As you went to the stock market, you told everybody to, long story short, suck my dick.
Right.
You went against a behemoth in Warren Buffett. A man with so many zeros in his fucking bank account, and you called him washed up.
Yeah, that was kind of a joke but then people took the joke and ran with it. It's like, hey, if they're going to run with the joke, because I basically went in on airlines right when I said I'm going all in on airlines. 10 minutes later, they issued like a release, Berkshire Hathaway. It's like Warren Buffett's out on airlines. So it's like, all right, mano y mano. And the airlines skyrocketed like from them. So I just kind of started busting his balls. I mean, the guy's 100 years old. So he probably, you're laughing, but like he is. Right. Like I think he's 90, ain't he?
Right.
So he's really fucking old. And everyone's like, how can you say
he's 90?
Yeah, right. So people, they're like, how can you say he's not in his prime? It's like, the guy's 90. I hope he's not in his fucking prime. So
late bloomer.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, who's in their prime at 90? You're lucky to be alive.
Moses actually killed it at 90.
Yeah?
Never mind. Moving on.
This guy's throwing all sorts of jokes that go right over my head.
He's a heavy Christian. But you got into it with them. I've even seen you go back and forth a little bit with the Winklevosses on the crypto shit. Is that more fun with them?
No, or? I mean, so I was in the Hamptons, and they happened to be like a couple doors down, and I was, the crypto people are awesome. I actually like crypto on Twitter. They're fucking wild. But the Winklevosses like have this thing, and they tried to explain it to me. It made no sense to me. They said Elon Musk, they were dead serious. They said Elon Musk is going to go to outer space. He's going to mine asteroids for gold, and gold will rain down as plentiful as sand on the earth. They were dead serious. So I know I have nothing against the Winklevosses were exactly like what I expected them to be from the Social Network.
Right.
Literally, like two.
We're 6'3" and there's two of us.
Yeah,
exactly.
They were exactly like that.
Right.
So it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting learning all that shit. Scooter Braun was a big one.
Scooter Braun.
Fucking
Braun. I call it Scooter Braun.
Yeah, that was a lot of LA people like that because I guess he's not used to somebody being like. So the backstory on that, I've become friends with Dave Grutman, who's like runs Miami basically.
Absolutely. We love Grutman. Yep.
So he called me. He's like, hey, I got Scooter Braun on the line, and it's like you don't have to talk to him, but he wants to talk to you about this Sophia thing. I'm like, you tell Scooter. Like, whatever we say is on the record. I'll fucking talk to him, but what's he want? And Scooter, I mean, I don't know what he expected to happen, but he was not expecting it to go that way. And we were fine after it, but it's just like, it's kind of like, I don't give a fuck about Scooter Braun or anybody.
Is there anybody? I mean,
I'm like a Jimmy Buffett guy who I had a call with him. I grew up. But, there's people I respect and whatnot. I just don't know. We're in a different world. Like, I think when you're out in LA, it's very different than like our world out in like the East Coast. And we have this rabid fan base that doesn't give a shit really about anything, and neither do I. Like, we operate differently. And maybe you guys don't either, but like Scooter Braun, I don't give a fuck about.
We give them a small amount of fucks. We're not completely fuckless, but it's lowering and lowering day by day. My question to you is this. How do you go from I don't give a fuck to becoming an enemy, a sworn enemy, quite literally etched in stone? Because I know, and this is the funniest fucking thing in the world to me, you engrave your enemy's names on a bottle of champagne, and then you wait for them to fuck up, fail, or lose, and then you crack it open and celebrate on behalf of their failures.
Yeah, so this started happening.
Bro, you have no idea.
Like, Ace of Spades started sending me the bottles, like, because I'm kind of like I don't know, cantankerous. Like, I'm very vocal with who I don't like. And if people like dismiss us or like these guys suck, it's been that from the beginning, like underdog mentality. And we have a lot of people who don't like us. The best one is probably John Skipper, like when he was running ESPN, he was the head of ESPN. Yeah. We had a show on ESPN, the shortest lived show in the history of shows. It lasted one episode. Right. They canceled it after one episode. And 2 weeks later, he resigned, and he said he had a coke problem, but he didn't.
yeah, I remember.
He was getting
Bought
blackmailed.
coke in
He was
Central
getting
Park, right?
blackmailed
Yeah,
by
yeah.
his coke dealer.
Right.
Oh,
So
shit.
we had the bottle ready to go. We had the Suit Man bottle ready to go.
Bro.
We had it was HBO did a documentary on
Right,
us,
right.
and she saw the bottle. She's like, "What are these?" It's like, "Yeah, these are all the fucking people I hate. I just put them on the shelf and wait for them to fuck up and then celebrate." She's like, "Isn't that bad?" It's like, "Yeah, it motivates me though, and it does motivate me."
Are you worried about fucking up? Like it's almost like even with Donald Trump getting COVID, which I want to talk about a little bit. I feel like people were waiting for that. A lot of
Absolutely,
people, right?
because of the
They've
way
been
he's
waiting
in.
for 2 decades, and I'm sure there's people out there. But I'm fine with that. I've made a lot of enemies, and if we fuck up, I'm sure they'll be the first one. I mean, a lot of people truly don't like me. I mean, a lot of people truly don't like you, right?
Yeah, true, but I would like to believe that the tides are changing. I like to stay optimistic. I've given them in the past, 3-4 years ago, a solid handful of reasons to not like me. Except I'm 21, 22. I'm evolving.
Right.
I'm 25 now. Who knows what I'll be when I'm 30, 35.
See, I haven't evolved. I'm still super petty. Like I always say,
It's an East Coast thing.
Barstool's
It's
like
it
that.
is.
Barstool's the house that Spite built.
I have
People
no
hating
problem
and
with that.
doubting. That's what it's like the Brady Six when he's crying when he didn't get drafted. I look at people who are like, oh, Barstool can't do this, they can't do that. Even this latest thing, the stock market has created so many new enemies for me because Barstool's gonna fail, Penn stock sucks, this, that, and they're all like, okay, we'll see. It's not about money. It's just fuck you. It's basically how it is.
Can we put a metaphorical cork in the stock market talk? I want to ask you about a couple individual stocks and get your thoughts
Yep.
on them if you don't mind. Amazon,
Monster.
Apple.
Monster. Those are stocks if you have money and they're always going to go up.
Should be there,
Yeah.
right? American Airlines.
I think that's going to see. I don't think the airlines are too big to fail. Maybe if you get enough airlines, if one goes out of business, the others Spirit, Air, they're still 70% off what they were. So it just depends. If you're an old person and you need your money soon, probably not. But if you can wait 5 years, COVID. If COVID's still here in 5 years, we got a fucking problem.
Yeah.
So eventually it's going to go away, I think, or get a vaccine.
And then and I want to get to that last one, Soul Cycle.
That's the connection with Alex.
Right.
They're all connected. So Soul Cycle, there's backstory in that. This is way back. So I was married. And
Are you still married?
no, technically, she's my best friend.
Okay.
So we're legally separated. But after that, first time people really knew who I was, first girl that I kind of was seeing a little bit. I was an idiot. I knew I was an idiot, but she ended up fucking her Soul Cycle instructor.
Oh no!
Hence why I asked. Big
And I
story.
went I'd rather the ship burn with me, so I told the whole fucking story. I mean, we shut Soul Cycle down. They had to shut their social media down. They were like, if you see this guy, call 911.
While you were still married, was it a cheating scandal?
No. It was after. It was right after.
Then why you care?
Because I felt like a fucking idiot. This chick, she stole my credit card. She literally
And paid for the Soul Cycle class.
to pay for the whole thing. I'm like, oh, you're gonna do this? I'm gonna find out, and I'm gonna fucking burn everybody down, and I did.
People were going into the Soul Cycle studio, starting shit with
We were
these
selling
instructors. It was
T-shirts
a
that said
fucking
cut
mess.
cycle on it.
I would never want to go up against you. I would never,
If
ever,
you're willing
ever.
to burn with the ship, which I very much am, I'd rather me burn, but you burn with me, than I could have not told that story. Nobody would know.
Have you always been like that?
Yeah.
Or is it because you have a massive, pretty much untouchable, invincible network behind you?
It's always been like that.
Really?
Even before it started, day one, if you go read the first newspapers, it's so we were a newspaper when we started. It's the same. It's maybe it is an East Coast thing.
I am very much like that. We've had
You
texts.
are.
We have texts where they're like, "No, you can't do that," and I go, "Fuck it," and they literally joke around. You'll get canceled, and I was like, "Then I'll go back to Arizona." I don't give a
Right.
fuck. But man, you really don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
See, I don't look for the fight. You're hunting for the fight.
I don't hunt for it. I've always said that.
Bro, you have a bottle with people's names.
Yeah, but you know what? All those people on there, half of them I wouldn't know if they existed if they didn't come at me. Most of the people I fight with, I didn't even know who you were until you kind of came at me.